In today's video, I would like to talk about a more serious topic regarding the Polish side of YouTube. In the last couple of weeks, there has been some information coming out about different Polish YouTubers, some really bad and dark stuff. It got to the point where even the Polish Prime Minister spoke out about this situation. Two big YouTubers made documentaries covering this situation, and I would like to go through them with you and explain to them what they are about for the English audience that may not understand Polish. Please therefore bear in mind that this video is strictly just informative and it is not my place to call anyone guilty, despite of what opinion I might have on some of the people shown in this video. The Polish YouTube consists of a whole variety of different creators. Some of them have been huge on this platform for many years. Some of them got famous because of their gaming videos, some of them because of their vlogs, some of them because of their commentaries. And for a long time, even though some of them were problematic, for a long time there was no bigger issue with them. However, that changed a couple of weeks ago. In the second half of September, two girls came out with their stories about the abuse, the mental and physical abuse that they went through while in their relationships with their YouTube famous boyfriends. Some content creators turned out to be completely different people than the persona they created online. And their confession made it so that more information started spilling out about other creators, other YouTubers. I feel like this whole situation is the beginning of an end of a certain era on the Polish YouTube, and to be honest, I think it might be a good thing after all. Before I get into the actual video, if you're not familiar with the Polish YouTube, which I assume you're not if you're watching this video, you need to know that there is some bad stuff on the Polish side of YouTube. Of course, there's also very good, interesting, and creative creators that deserve our attention and deserve more viewers than they are getting. However, unfortunately, the YouTubers that are the most popular are the ones who target their videos to children or to very young audience in general. They make content that's catchy, dramatic, colorful, exciting. And while this is not a bad thing in general, and there would be nothing wrong with that, with making such content for young people, that wouldn't be bad at all if it weren't for the fact that those creators, they, how do I say it? They started sexualizing their content. And they are still directing it to children. I will explain more about this later in the video. To understand this whole situation better, you need to know the content creator with which this whole situation unraveled. His nickname, the name that he used on YouTube, is Stu. His real name is Stuart Barton. He was born in England. However, he made content in Polish for the Polish audience. He had one of the biggest channels on the Polish YouTube. I believe he became famous due to his Minecraft videos. And for many years, he was huge on YouTube. Everyone that was interested in YouTube at the time knew who he was. In 2020, he stopped uploading videos. In general, he actually stopped uploading any content at all on the internet. And here's where all the speculations began, because the reason why he quit internet was not very clear, even though he did mention that he's leaving the internet because of his mental health, because he wanted to take care of his mental health, which obviously is valid. That's completely fine. But people were still a bit curious about it in a way that it seemed weird, because his exit from YouTube was so abrupt and sudden, because before he quit, he was uploading videos normally. And the last video he posted is also not even a video explaining why he's quitting. It was just as if one day he just stopped uploading all of a sudden. Nevertheless, another YouTuber whose name is Sylwester Wardenga, to who I will be referring to simply as Wardenga throughout this video, he's better known on YouTube by his YouTube channel name, which is Wataha Królestwo. He started investigating his disappearance back in 2020. He found some evidence, however, it wasn't enough to actually post about it. But a few days ago, he made a video on Stu and he posted it on YouTube, uncovering everything he found And there's a lot. He called this whole situation, this whole case, I don't really know how to call this. Either way, he called it Pandora Gate, and this is where it all started. A few days later, Konopski, another YouTuber, he also posted his documentary on this whole situation. He pretty much summarized what Wardenga said in his video. He added some additional evidence, and he also spoke more about other YouTubers that are also problematic, which could potentially be involved in this whole situation. So I will go through both of these videos with you, trying to explain the most precisely as I can. Please be aware that all the audios and all the screenshots that you will see in this video are in Polish, obviously, but I will try to translate them the best I can, and I will leave subtitles in the video for you to understand them better. I will not go through all of them, but I will show you the most important ones. We will start with the video made by Wardenga, as he was the first to release his video, and also Konopski's video is sort of based on Wardenga's video. So this is the first one that we should start with. As I mentioned earlier, Stu quit the internet in 2020. It was in May. And around that time, his then friend and flatmate, Sukanek, which was also a YouTuber, she posted a video in which she was crying and speaking about some YouTuber that she was close to that she found out was inappropriate with an underage person.
Nie pozwolę na to, żeby kogokolwiek już spotkała krzywda. Nie wiem, jak może zrobić krzywdę.
Now she said that this YouTuber hurt an underage person. She never specified which YouTuber she's talking about, but everyone started suspecting Stu because they were good friends. She knew him very well. And it was also around the time that Stu decided to quit the internet. So obviously, all things considered, it seemed pretty weird. Around that time, Stu went to get a treatment in a mental hospital, and all of his friends known on YouTube that were speaking out about him were covering for him, saying that Sukanek shouldn't have said what she did and that she only made the situation worse for Stu, even though, as I mentioned, she never actually publicly said that she is referring to Stu. Sukanek apparently went to the police to file a report on this situation. However, the victims were too scared and did not want to confess. Despite various investigations made by Wardenga and all the attempts at trying to dig into this whole situation, no one, including his viewers, wanted to believe him that there is something suspicious going on with Stu. This is until September this year, when he released a video, because the victims that were previously scared to speak up, they started sending him evidence, and he put them all into his video. In the next segment of the video, Wardenga takes us to 2014, which is the year where Stu hosted a meetup for all of his fans. He was 22 years old at that time. It is also the time that he starts talking to one of his fans, a then 12-year-old girl. Her age was confirmed by Wardenga. She sent him a scan of her ID. That's how we are sure that she was 12, 13 to be at that time. He shares some screenshots of the conversation that girl and Stu were having. I will show you the most disgusting ones. Oh god, this is gonna be awkward. I'm not normally into butts, but yours is nice. Your body is heavenly. I would put you up against a wall in the shower, pick you up, you would wrap your legs around. There is this one screenshot where he describes an erotic dream he had with her, and I will not translate it to you because it feels inappropriate for me to even say these things out loud considering the context, but I will show it in the video so that if you're curious, you can translate it on your own. For me, it just feels wrong. I'm sorry. He also insisted on meeting up with this girl on various occasions. Mind you, she was 12 at the time, almost 13. Now, another YouTuber, a close friend of Stu, Marcin Dubiel, also started messaging this girl inappropriately. Now, he actually made a video addressing all these accusations, in which he shows evidence that some of these screenshots were out of context. He actually proves that by showing the previous parts of the conversations. However, he didn't address all of the screenshots, all of the voice messages, so some things are still unclear. What we do know is that he was aware of the girl's age. She was 14, he was 17 or 18 at that time. So the age difference wasn't as big as between the girl and Stu, but you know, at that age, even 4 years old is a big difference. Wardenga claims that he thinks that Marcin Dubiel was aware of the relationship Stu was having with the girl. Marcin Dubiel says that he wasn't. He says that he was not aware of anything. He knew about the girl, obviously, but he did not know about the kind of relationship they had between each other. Dubiel says that he was very impressed with Stu because Stu was older, he was more popular on YouTube, so he really wanted to be friends with him. And it is possible that he just didn't pay attention to some things. If that's true or not, we don't know. As I mentioned before, Stu kept on insisting on meeting this girl. I'm counting down to the day when I see your smile, and I'll put your hair behind your ear, and I'll give you a kiss on the forehead. Stuart, I told you that this wouldn't work because of my age. You don't want to meet me. If you wanted to, you would show some will to do that. And what about the age? You keep on changing your mind. You always said that the age doesn't matter, that your parents have a big age gap, and now you're telling me that the age is the thing that bothers you the most? The next screenshot you're about to see is Stu trying to justify him talking to young girls. All the laws, rules, social ideas which are made by the society, in Mexico they can from the age of 12, in England from 16. But who will forbid us to feel what we feel? Apparently he had the same type of conversation with Sukanek. You still don't understand anything. In Poland, from the age of 15 years old, apparently they already know what they're doing. In England, it's 16, America, 18, in Mexico, it's 12. You are not clever or conscious enough to decide when is the most suitable time for each person. Everyone grows up differently. Coming back to the first girl, apparently a friend of hers suggested her that she waits with meeting Stu, that it's too early, that she's too young, and Stu got very angry at it. It looks to me like you're looking for a reason to cut ties with me, and you came up with this whole story to get rid of me. You notice that I'm starting to really get into you, and you want to get rid of me before I become obsessed. It's a bit too late for that. So eventually they met in December 2015, but before their meeting, Stu told the girl that they should not tell anyone about their meeting. People will gossip that I'm fucking my 14-year-old fans. Then different companies and agencies will hear about it and won't want to work with me. So the meeting happened. The girl, in her voice message to Wardenga, she says that Stu was constantly looking behind him, sort of. He was constantly speaking about the police and about trying to avoid the police. She said she wanted to go back home, but he insisted for her to stay. He invited her to a hotel room that he had rented for 2 hours. Luckily, nothing happened. Luckily, all they did is just sit there and together and play Sims, and then they all went back home. Wardenga goes on to show the story of another girl. In August 2018, Stu invited this girl, which by the way she was 15 at the time, and her 14-year-old friend to some place in Warsaw to help him shoot a video. With them there was 2 other YouTubers, a bunch of other young girls, and another friend of his, I believe. Stu bought them vodka. He was aware of their age because before buying them alcohol, he checked their student IDs for some reason, but he still went through with the idea of buying them alcohol. After that, they all went to his apartment. Wardenga actually shows proof that the apartment that they were at was actually his.
Mieszkał Stu.
When they were there, the girls received martinis from the guys, from the men, actually. And they say that after drinking the martinis, they don't remember anything else. They just remember waking up in the morning. One of the girls woke up next to Stu on Stu's bed. Wardenga continues the video by showing some screenshots of a conversation between Stu and Sukanek. They all should go behind bars. No, they shouldn't. By the way, they're talking about other YouTubers, which allegedly, according to Stu, were also inappropriate with young girls. This is the law. Girls throw themselves, send pictures. This is the way the world is. It's media's fault for pushing sex onto children in songs. Sue singers too. Ever since I met you, all I hear is fucking girls, even small girls on some party, about some pictures. It's making me fucking nauseous. I don't know how you can be friends with such people. I don't know how you can participate in all this. I'm not the toxic one. You are. I want to fix everything. It's because of people like you that I don't want to live anymore. You're scared that the truth will come out. You won't do shit, do you understand? And I don't want to live anymore because of people like you. You're just like them. I didn't do shit. Not a single shit. It's more about the situation you were talking about, that they got a girl drunk and undressed her. No, she got naked on her own. It's not really possible for her to make her own decisions if she was drunk. She wanted to go wash herself, but she kept on falling. It doesn't fucking matter. She was drunk. She didn't know what was happening. But she got drunk on her own. That's what the young people are like. She bought the alcohol on her own. But every guy gets young girls drunk, gives them alcohol. Shit, this is 100% normal. Back in the day, being gay was bad. Now it's not. You never know if in 10 years they don't decide that girls get from the age of 10 years old. I am speechless. This is like the 5th time I'm going through this video. And I'm still shocked, you know? I don't know. The next segment of the video is focused on the people that were possibly involved in all this. So the first person mentioned is Marcin Dubiel. We've talked about him previously. Wardenga, as I said, believes that Marcin knew about this whole situation. Marcin, however, says he was not aware. He knew about the girl, but he didn't know just how inappropriate the relationships Stu and the girl had. It is not my place to judge anyone here, especially since we don't have such solid evidence as we do with Stu. The next influencer mentioned here is Agata Fong, better known on YouTube as Fagata. She's actually Stu's ex-girlfriend. Apparently, Stu admitted his actions to her, and for a long time she didn't say anything publicly about it. There is voice messages proving that she was aware of everything. However, up until the point of Wardenga's video, she has not spoken up.
Wynika, że Stu sam jej się przyznał do pewnych akcji.
Ja bym tak chciała nagłośnić, no coś trzeba kurwa zrobić, w sensie... Myślisz, że jak się to zgłosi, nie wiem, na policję, to oni zareagują? Czy to już nie jest, nie wiem, za późno? Czy ci ludzie, w sensie te laski by się nie musiały przyznać i w ogóle, czy... No nie wiem, co zrobić, bo ja wiem o tym, że... Ale może ty jeszcze wiesz o innej dziewczynie?
On mi o tym powiedział, bo się bał, że ty mi o tym powiesz. Że jakąś taką 13-letnią czy iluś dziewczynką się z nią coś takiego się spotykał i mi się od razu ta sytuacja przypomniała i mi się chciało żygać, jak ja sobie o tym przypomniałam i mu to wysłałam i napisałam, żeby nie komentował żeby się nie brał za takie małe dziewczynki, bo ja mu nie pozwolę na to, bo to jest obrzydliwe, obleśne po prostu. A ja nie mam żadnych dowodów i w ogóle.
The next YouTuber mentioned by Wardenga is Michał Baron, better known on YouTube as Boxdel. He was a friend of Stu, and apparently he was also being inappropriate with some underage girls that were in their group of friends. Boxdel actually addressed this video on his YouTube channel. He says that he is not angry at Wardenga for making this video, but he did say that he is disappointed that he was called as bad as Stu, even though his actions were nowhere near as bad. He said he didn't know about Stu's actions because obviously Stu wouldn't walk around, you know, bragging to everyone that he had sex with an underage girl. He did admit that he would send inappropriate messages to young girls, but he also said that the girl had told him that she was 16 at the time. He also admits, it's actually shown in the screenshots, that the girl eventually admits what age she was, that she was 14 when they were messaging. But Boxdel says that this type of conversation, this type of humor was very common in their group of friends. He does also admit that these messages were stupid and inappropriate. So at that time, the situation got so bad and so loud in the entire country that even the Polish Prime Minister spoke up about it on his Facebook profile.
Wczoraj usłyszeliśmy historię człowieka, który według wszelkiego prawdopodobieństwa wykorzystywał swoją sławę zbudowaną na internecie do tego, aby krzywdzić nieletnie dziewczyny. Słuchajcie, to jest naprawdę coś tak okropnego, że musimy wszyscy na czele z państwem polskim, ale nie tylko, z różnymi organizacjami pozarządowymi i wszystkimi ludźmi dobrej woli, zrobić wszystko, aby zapobiegać tego typu zachowaniom patocelebrytów.
Stu was actually arrested by the British police, and as of now we don't know much more on what's going to happen. Now that you know the background of the Pandora Gate, we can move on to Konopski's video, in which he summarizes what Wardenga said in his video. He shares some more evidence and some more victims that were not involved in Wardenga's video. He also talks about some other problematic YouTubers on the Polish side of YouTube. One of the victims he mentions in his video is a girl that Stu met in 2014. She was 13 at the time. Stu made out with her, and then after that he kept on sending her naked pictures of himself. Let's remind you that at that time Stu was 22 years old, sending nudes to a 13-year-old. He also talked about a 15-year-old that even lived with him for a month. I don't know how, but apparently they lived together, next to whom he admitted to masturbating while she was asleep. So in Konopski's video, the next topic that he talks about is Team X. Now, Team X is a group of influencers. That targeted their videos mainly to young teenagers. Team X was created by an agency called Spotlight, and Spotlight was co-funded by Stu. So taking into consideration the age of their audience, it's a bit shocking to me to see what kind of content they were uploading, and I don't think they post videos anymore, but for a long time they did, and well, Konopski shows just a bunch of examples out of many.
Kto z kim chce się przespać, kto ma najlepszą dupę. Gry typu źle odpowiesz równa się rozbierasz się, Tinder w prawdziwym życiu, czy szczucie tych dzieci półnałymi zdjęciami na miniaturkach.
Now, the content was directed to children. It is sickening to me to think what kind of influence they had on such young people. Konopski also mentioned another YouTuber called DJ Palisade. Sorry, I actually never heard of him before. But yeah, he's called DJ Palisade, who in a bunch of his videos posts Snapchat pictures that he received from his viewers. He uploads these pictures to his videos and then he reacts to them. I've seen a bunch of YouTubers doing that, but none of the YouTubers that I saw did it in a way that he did. Because some of the pictures he received were his viewers' breasts, for example. Or here is one of the pictures that he received, and this is his response.
Heniu, wszyscy święci, o matko i ja myślę, żebym klepał, normalnie klepałbym, a co? Nie wiem ile... Wiem, za chwilę powiecie, ale ona może mieć poniżej 18 lat. No ale to, że klepałbym, to i tak jej wyślę.
He also uploaded pretty sexual content, as you can see here.
Jak fanka rozbiera się na snapie, pani Mikołaj wysyła mi nudesa, ale tyłek.
Even though a big part of his audience was children, as you can tell by the Snapchat pictures that he received. And while I understand that a part of his videos might have been due to his sense of humor, everyone has a different sense of humor, it does not justify and it does not excuse him uploading these videos while he was aware of what age his viewers were. Konopski mentions a few other YouTubers that were also pretty inappropriate with the content that they were uploading or with the messages that they were sending to their young fans. If you're curious, I can make a separate video on this, but I feel like if I just threw them all into the one video, that would be just too much, and this video would never end, and then it would really be a Pandora's box. So Konopski and Wardenga released all the information they had to the prosecutor's office. Stu was prosecuted on an arrest warrant, and a few days ago he was arrested by the British police. He was accused of giving alcohol to underage people, as well as having sexual relations with young people, which I guess we can just name it pedophilia, let's be honest. And I guess we'll see where it goes from here. The situation is unraveling more and more every day. Influencers should never use the power that they have on their viewers, especially to use them for their sexual benefit. That's just disgusting. Moreover, the content some of these YouTubers post for their audience, that it's sometimes even 10 years old or younger. Like, what kind of example do they give to these children? Is showing their naked bodies to those kids is that really what they want to show to future generations? So if you have kids or siblings or any other young person that you care about, please just talk to them. Please let them know, make sure that they're aware that the internet is not always a safe place. It can get quite dangerous, and that they need to be careful, no matter how tempting it might seem to be able to talk to their favorite creators. Unfortunately, we never know who our favorite creator actually is in real life. Thank you for watching this video, even though it wasn't the easiest one. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!